Hi everyone, Zach from Raise 'em Up Homestead here with another video. I'm going to walk you through how I make my dill pickles. Alright, so it's important when making pickles to make sure your jars are sterilized. So all I'm doing is while water's heating up in my canner, I'm submerging these jars into the hot water, letting the hot water sanitize and heat up the glass itself. You do not want to can in cold jars. Alright, so our jars have been sitting in the water. As you can see, they are nice and hot. So we are going to start our process here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take these jars off. They're going to cool a little bit. While we do this, but that's okay. Water's still heating up. We've got our brine over here. First thing we're going to do is make our brine. I'm going to take 3 cups of vinegar. I'm using distilled white wine vinegar. Because I like how that tastes in my pickles versus apple cider, at least for dill. Okay, we'll put that in. Then I want 2 cups of water. So it's a 2 to 3 ratio. You want at least 50-50. I like a little more bite, so I am doing a little extra vinegar. Now, we want to take our salt, get that heating up. Take our salt, we want 1 tablespoon of salt. This is a teaspoon, so 3 teaspoons of salt go in. You want to use a chemical-free salt or iodine-free salt. So pink Himalayan, sea salt, canning salt, whichever one you want to use. Then we are going to put in a tablespoon pickling spices. You can buy pickling spices anywhere they sell spices. It's a mixture of dill and mustard seed and all kinds of different spices put together. It's perfect for dill pickles. So we'll do 3 more of those. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, very cool. Now we're going to put in dill leaf to add some extra dill to it. We're going to put 1 teaspoon in. Then I'm going to take just a little bit, just a pinch worth of dill, and I'm going to put it into each jar, just to add a little extra, because I like my dill pickles extra dilly. Then I'm going to take some onion powder and just sprinkle onion powder. You don't have to worry about being super precise. It'll affect your flavor a little bit, but it's cooking. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to take my garlic cloves, chop them up, peel a couple good sized cloves, and I'm just going to slice them Doesn't have to be perfect. Cut them up a little bit. Okay. Now you take your garlic, because we want to make sure we get an equal amount. We just want to drop pieces of garlic into each jar evenly. As evenly as you can. Alright. Now what I do is we bought some fresh dill. This is not necessary. But we took fresh dill last year. I took the time to dry it. So now I just put 1 flower into each jar. And basically you're getting the seeds off the flower. See if I can show you how we'll see the seeds on the end. And we're just putting 1 of these into each jar just to give it some little extra dill flavor. Okay. Then this is Extra Crunch, Pickle Crunch, Pickle Crisp. It's called a bunch of different things. It's a chemical that when you put it in with your pickles, makes them extra crispy. I just do a pinch per pint. And you just put that right into the jar. That helps make your pickles nice and crispy. If you don't want to use a chemical like that, there are lots of other tricks, from soaking in salt water to lime baths, all kinds of different things. So I'm going to make 1 pint of spears, or 2 pints of spears, 2 pints of chips. So for spears, I'm just going to cut them into quarters and put them in the jars. If you've never made pickles before, don't be scared of this. Pickles are super easy to make. And you don't have to can them like I'm going to do today. You can make refrigerator pickles. It's exactly the same steps without the canning. Okay, so get this one nice and tight. There we go. Now I'll do some chips. Chips, you want them to be pretty thick. Unless you're going to put them on sandwiches, then you want them nice and thin. But that is up to you. I like mine nice and thick because I just eat them as snacks. Or use them to make dip. We make a cream cheese pickle dip that is amazing. We discovered the recipe, or the idea, when we were in Texas visiting our friends. Went to a brewery that had dill pickle dip, and it's amazing. Maybe one of these days I'll show you how to make dill pickle dip. Alright, we have all 4 full, ready to go. Our brine is nice and hot, so I'm going to pull the brine off the burner, set it over here. I'm going to fire up my 3rd burner. And then I'm going to move my canner back over all 3 of my burners. Try and get heat it up faster. Okay, so while that's going, we're gonna go ahead and put the brine in. Oh. Take our pickles. Right there. Then we just carefully pour into each one. You want to go to that ring I showed you. Because you got to have head space inside your jars. Otherwise, it won't seal properly. Now, all of the goodies that we put in are still inside the here. So I take my tablespoon or my teaspoon and I scoop out the solids and seasonings and try and get some of that into the jars. The more seasoning you have in there, the more flavor you have. So I put as much in as I can get. Alright. Now, if you're making refrigerator pickles, put the lids on and you're done. Stay tuned. Take your lids, put your lids on. Take your rings. Put your rings on. You want to put them on finger tight. You don't want to wrench down on them, or when it seals, it'll buckle the lid. So, finger tight. Refrigerator pickles are done. Take these, let them cool, and put them in the fridge. You're done. So I'm going to use this insert here. It keeps the cans off the bottom of the pan, keeps them a little more stable, and helps prevent breaking cans. We're almost up to temperature. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these in. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to let it boil for 5 minutes. That's all it takes. So we're almost there. I'm going to go ahead and put them in and let temperature come up with the jars in. These jar lifters are super handy. They make this job a lot safer, and they allow you to put the jars in without burning yourself. I did this the other day, and I did not have the jar lifter. I was trying to use cooking tongs, and it did not work out well. I ended up losing 2 pints of pickles and burnt myself. Alright, so you want to make sure you have at least 1 inch, preferably 2 inches of water above the top of your jars when you put them in. That way no air can get to your pickles. Okay, so they have been in the water boiling for 5 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and pull them out now and let them sit. So we just reach in, let the water drain off the top, set them down on our cutting board or a tea towel, kitchen towel, whatever you've got, and you just want to let them cool. You want to let them sit on the counter for about 24 hours to let them cool. That's all there is to it.